Three. Hi, everybody. Hi, Rachel, and welcome, Patrick. Rachel, we
Hello,
missed you
everybody.
last week. Did you have a great time with your did you have a great time with your family?
I did. I did. Had lots
Yeah,
of visitors last week. So
yeah.
sorry I missed it,
That's
but
yeah.
happy to spend some good
Well,
time with
we're yes, and we're glad you're back,
you.
and happy to welcome Patrick O'Sullivan. Patrick is a
Yeah.
third year medical student working with me this month. Patrick, do you mind maybe sharing with Rachel and our audience what kind of pulled you into more of a lifestyle medicine track in your training? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm a third year osteopathic medical student. So it means that I'm at the stage in my medical journey where I haven't decided necessarily what type of specialty I want to pick yet. But I've always kind of been drawn to lifestyle medicine. Even before I joined medical school, I've always been interested in nutrition and exercise and things like that. And as I've gone through my medical journey in training, I've kind of thought to myself, okay, I really, really like family medicine and primary care because I like kind of dealing with every system in the body and talking to patients. And I thought during my third year, it made sense to do a rotation like with Dr. Gilbert to learn more about lifestyle medicine and to learn about weight loss and just longevity medicine and just overall well-being so that I can be best equipped for her family medicine care.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, great. So I have a couple of questions too. And Rachel, things might be popping up in your head. But I was curious as to, in your family medicine rotation, how often do you talk about vegetables with your patient?
Ooh.
How often didn't you have a primary care rotation?
I did. I had it in Roseburg, Oregon about a month ago.
And how often did vegetables come up in your conversation?
Less frequently than I would have liked, probably. I think, primary care is very fast paced, as you know, Dr. Gilbert. I feel like we don't have a lot of time. We're managing many chronic illnesses. I think oftentimes more talk is dedicated to medication management and talking about numbers and rather than lifestyle elements. So maybe we touch on sleep and, what are you eating, day to day and things like that, but a lot less talk on specifics.
Yeah. And so fascinating. And there's no judgment here. That's what, it's the way it was for me when I was doing all primary care. It was number one, maybe a lack of knowledge for me. I'm talking about me. And then number two, just a lack of time. So, well, Patrick, I'm also interested. How much time have you had in your medical training on nutrition?
In total, if I'm not counting my own personal interest in it, not a lot. Maybe a few hours of lectures here and there.
Yeah, a few hours. Yeah. Right. Isn't that interesting? So Rachel, jump in here. And there's no judgment. It's just, I'm just, observing that, vegetables or these whole, we've been talking about vegetables and phytonutrients and eating the rainbow and how beneficial the compounds in these vegetables can be to promote health and reverse chronic disease. Yet as physicians, we are time constrained. And maybe, for myself, I used to be knowledge constrained, to really make this a major part of my treatment plan. So what do you think about that, Rachel?
Yeah, I would just add, first of all, I love, Patrick, what you said about longevity medicine. I love that you kind of named it that or kind of nicknamed it that, because that's really a bigger vision. It's a bigger purpose of longevity. And we talk about adding years to your health and health to your years, not just having this lifespan, but having a health span, and then maybe even a joy span. Because are you enjoying the years that you're living? We can make you live to 100, but man, you're going to be in rough shape, unless you're living these lifestyle and longevity tenets. And then, really, while we hope that medicine and that primary doctors and family doctors are able to learn more and integrate more into their life, into their practice, until healthcare changes a bit and they're given more time and they're not so burned out. What's great about this is that's where I come in as a health coach, right?
Yeah.
My role as a health coach is to come alongside, right? As the doc, you're going to be saying, hey, one of your vital signs is, what do you eat? What is your nutrition? That's a vital sign. It is just as important as what your blood pressure is. And then once you gather that data and you've got a quick visit, you're able to maybe now not only refer them to some specialists that they need to possibly see, but perhaps work with a coach to help do the things you don't have time for in your job. And that's not, perhaps maybe part of your normal family practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how the health coaches are able to, we've expanded our idea of what healthcare looks like. And we're bringing in now, other partners in the coaches to just kind of shoulder that burden for the treatment plan that we don't always have time for. So Rachel, I was wondering, Patrick, sorry, have you encountered a health coach in any of your, in any setting, medical setting at all?
No, we had a woman who was who taught most of our nutrition lectures, actually, and she was a nutritionist and a health coach. So she kind of dual
okay, great.
Certified in that, and so she taught most of our lectures.
Yeah. So this might be your first experience of just a health coach working with the physician alongside to help promote behavior change and really help the patient recognize and see and then find solutions, their own solutions to the barriers that keep popping up between what they know they want, what they want to do, what they know to do, but they don't necessarily know how to get to the goal that they've set for themselves. And that's how beautifully the coach comes in. And Rachel, she's number one. She's she's the best of the best. So Rachel, you work with a lot of our clients and really help them kind of see that how important, that's what we're talking about, these phytonutrients are for our health. But we run into barriers. What are some ideas, some tips, some thoughts about how to incorporate more color, eating the rainbow? Can you give us some ideas on that?
Yeah. So, we've been talking about Dr. Hyman's cheat sheet that the phytonutrients and eating the colors of the rainbow. In the last several weeks, Dr. Gilbert and I have been discussing what a phytonutrient is. Where do you get these chemicals? What colors of vegetables and plants where are they found? And so this week we wanted to talk about the practical, simple ways to get more. Eating the rainbow, you've heard it probably, and it makes sense. You're thinking about, so all the colors of vegetables and fruits. But how? How do you incorporate them? And what we've learned recently is that while the old adage of eat 5 to 7 fruits and vegetables a day is good advice, what ends up happening is most people pick their 5 to 7 favorites, and that's what they eat over and over and over and over again. They're limiting themselves to the abundance and the variety of all the other colors or all the other foods that are in the color categories. Maybe they love peppers that are red, but they don't eat the yellow and the orange and the green. Or maybe they'll eat an apple, but they're not eating raspberries and radishes and rutabaga. So how do we do that? The first recommendation that we have from that cheat sheet that Dr. Hyman put out is to aim for at least 1 serving of each color every single day. So a serving of a color every single day of all the colors.
Yeah, great. Yeah. And thanks to Patrick, I quickly learned how to share or upload a document and share it. So you can see that we have that daily tracker on there. On the screen. Hopefully everybody can see that. And this is from Dr. Hyman. I didn't make this up, but he has this beautiful tracker And so you can just check a box, you know. So if you don't track something, it's hard to change it. So tracking something can be a very useful tool to incorporate. Did I eat my red vegetable today? Yeah, there it is. My tomato, I ate that. Yeah. So, and then getting one of every color. And in starting out small, right? Because sometimes, well, yesterday even, Patrick, you know, we had quite a bit of resistance or pushback when I mentioned in my hand nutrition, I say 5 cups, 5 colors. And sometimes people's eyes bug out, 5 cups. Oh my goodness. You know, that seems like so much, right? Yeah, so a lot of times I tell them that color trumps cups, you know, so, you know, so to shrink the change, make it more manageable, doable. I can eat it. I can eat a color, you know, I can eat, one of each color. I can do that. Yeah. So, yeah, so that's great. Yeah, and they give some like you know, strawberries and yogurt. I mean, it doesn't have to be I'm standing in the kitchen for hours prepping vegetables. You know, some quick and easy things. How have you? What color of vegetable, Patrick, did you bring for your lunch today?
Oh, I've been kind of falling victim to what Rachel mentioned. I fall victim to picking one vegetable that I really like. I mean, I love carrots, so I eat carrots very regularly. Just hearing you, I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm inspired now. Maybe I should chop up some red bell pepper and maybe some celery or something and put that in the same Ziploc bag. So I'm just like mixing around a little bit more with my lunches. But I brought my orange.
Yeah. Sometimes we do kind of keep in the similar, you know, I hope my mom's not listening, but I think when I was a kid, I only knew that there was carrots and celery. I mean, I just didn't know there was other things out there. Sorry, Mom. I mean, that's probably, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but I mean, but we ate carrots and celery and you know, and you get in this thing and like, oh my goodness, my whole world was opened up when, you know, I started the grocery shopping and oh, there's this and that. And then the other thing is that I thought there were only orange carrots, but you know what? There are yellow carrots and white carrots and purple carrots, you know, wow, you know, mind blown. So, yeah. So thank you for that, Patrick. Sometimes we can just kind of get stuck in that rut. So,
yeah. And I appreciate, you know, the way that you recognize, Patrick, that it's kind of just by talking about it and us having this brief conversation, all of a sudden your mind is opened. You're thinking, you're hearing what I said, but then applying it to your life. And that's one of the things we do in group coaching, which you'll see when you come to the group coaching next session, is that while someone may be describing their lived experience, from that, you're kind of like, oh, hey, I got an idea. And it may be similar to what they're doing, or it may just have spurred something in your own mind. And you went there, right? You thought, oh, well, I could add this and this, and it sounded like it was going to be pretty easy, pretty doable. Like that wouldn't be so hard to do. And I could start to add a few more. And then Dr. Gilbert, just with your idea of the different colors of carrots, now that's, if you know you like carrots, you can easily kind of go, well, maybe this week I'll buy the different color ones or the multicolored ones. And suddenly it's just that awareness or that mindfulness that is half the work. If we're not aware of what we're doing or what we're not doing, we can't start the change process. So just even the conversation is so great.
Right. Yeah. And I love that too, because just even, you know, being around somebody else like Rachel, for example, you know, since I've known Rachel, I've probably gone from eating, you know, I don't know, let's just say a dozen different kinds of vegetables to dozens and dozens of different vegetables. I mean, so the company we keep can really be a very positive, peer pressure in a healthy way.
It really comes back to, you know, what's the company that you're keeping and where are the conversations around health coming from? With whom are you having those conversations? With other people who are also searching, you know, for their health and longevity and health span and joy span, or with people who aren't. And then that's really going to decipher whether or not you're feeling inspired or motivated. So where can you seek out those conversations? At the water cooler, in your family, or maybe for a lot of us, it's podcasts. It's things like this, listening to this thing, going to group coaching, seeking it out to where we can listen and get that inspiration, get
Right.
that inspiration going.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's another tip that he gives, Rachel?
Yeah. The second tip he gives is this is another one that a lot of patients or clients might go, "Whoa," their eyeballs get real big, is when we say, aim to get 30 different plants each week.
Yeah. Wow.
30 different plants.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the good news is that spices and herbs count. But each spice and each herb counts for a quarter of one.
Oh,
So-
is that right? Oh man, I didn't know
Yes.
that. Wow.
Yes.
Well,
So
tell
if
me.
you-
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. So if you use, let's say, oregano, basil, parsley, and thyme, that's one plant. You get to count that as one plant.
Okay.
But now the goal is tomorrow, use marjoram, pepper,
Cumin. Yeah.
turmeric,
Yeah.
add some
Yeah.
other ones.
Bay leaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that gets me in the kitchen, kind of creating, exploring recipes. Trying new things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind that the 30 different plants, whereas before we were talking about the rainbow, the daily tracker is the rainbow. This is fruits and vegetables. Plants include whole grains. It includes nuts and seeds and fruits and vegetables, right? If it
Right.
came out of the ground or came off a tree or a bush, it's
Mhm.
a plant.
And Rachel,
we want to eat it as whole as possible.
that's right. That includes coffee, Rachel. I'm just going to say it out loud. It includes coffee.
I'm very grateful for that. Yes.
It also includes the dark chocolate cacao powder.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's right.
Loaded with polyphenols,
Mhm.
have fiber, and actually a plant that I make it a goal to eat every single day of my life.
You are committed to that
I'm
plant.
committed to that. I'm committed.
Yeah. So, what are some ideas? Patrick, what are your thoughts on getting 30 different plants per week?
30 sounds like, I hate to say that my eyes are popping out, but it does sound like quite a challenge. I feel, I think it's great to have certain ones that you incorporate into dishes, because you can be surprised by making, like I made a crock pot meal the other day with chicken and rice, but I was like, okay, how do I add volume? And it's like, oh, I can add zucchini and different kinds of legumes, like, a different kind of bean. So doing 2 or 3 different types of beans. And then there are all different ways that you can kind of incorporate things into kind of a medley. So you're eating a lot of things within a dish. I love the spices. I had no idea that the spices counted. So I'm going to be experimenting a lot with different spices now.
Mhm.
So that's very cool.
And that's a great point that you make, that it's start with just tracking how many you are eating. Maybe over the next week, grab a piece of paper, just put it in your kitchen, and every time you make a meal, mark down all the plants that are different from the day before. Just keep a tally. You might be surprised. You might be thinking you're only doing 5 or 10, but maybe you're more like 15 or 20. So then it's just a matter of, okay, now how do I get to 22? And then how do I next week add another one to get to 23? And I think tracking, we can get encouraged by that. When you started rattling off what was in your soup, wow, I'm adding up quick. I'm adding them up quickly, and in one meal, you likely had at least 9 or 10 different plants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And the main ingredient may not have to change, but then you're swapping out things, or vegetables or herbs and spices and stuff like that, and they can give it a completely different flavor profile, and then that adds those different compounds for that promote your health in a different way. So yeah. So variety is the spice of life. Is that what they say? That's what they say. Yeah, and you're already kind of into that third. I think, Patrick, you've already kind of talked a little bit about that third tip about mixing and matching, right? Because we don't eat food in a vacuum or isolating. This we eat this and we eat that. Foods work together synergistically, which I think is on purpose, in my opinion, designed on purpose for the purpose of nourishing my body, and it's so beautiful and delicious and fun.
Yeah.
To create and find different flavor profiles and foods that go differently together.
Yeah.
Rachel, can you think of something, what pops up when we're talking about flavor, maybe that you've tried new or different that you just hadn't done before and it's been so fun, maybe.
Yeah. I think what comes up for me is two things. First is that when I learned this, that we're in our infancy in research and nutrition. We don't fully understand the synergy between foods and what's actually happening at that chemical level.
Right.
But we're learning and we're seeing things that, when you eat black pepper with your turmeric, the curcumin is increased, the bioavailability is increased by 100-fold. Whoa. So these things together are better than apart. I know that if you sprinkle a little bit of ground mustard on your spinach, the what's the big phytochemical in greens? I'm drawing a blank. Sulforaphane.
Yes, sulforaphane.
The sulforaphane bioavailability is increased. So when I learned that, not only do I want to keep adding different colors and things together because I know that they're working synergistically, but then I'm getting curious about the ones we know go together really well. We know, for instance, garlic and onion really enhance one another rather than having them separate. So I think that's like, it's fun, exciting, and it encourages me to just keep trying more things. Not that we have to be perfect or we have to be knowing everything to put together, but just the more things and the more variety, our bodies do the rest of the work for us.
Right. Yeah. So good. All right. Well, in light of all of this, talking about these phytonutrients and 5 cups, 5 colors, or eating the rainbow and tracking, getting 30 plants in your week. In light of all that, what, Rachel, have you planned for your dinner tonight?
My dinner tonight is leftovers that we had frozen. So I'm cooking, as you guys know, I've talked about cooking from the Zoe fiber packed cookbook, and I don't have it here in front of me, but it was a tomato stew, and then we cooked a big batch of it, froze a bunch of them, and so now I've taken them out to get to eat those tonight, and it's got. Gosh, I wish I had the book in front of me, because what's great about the Zoe cookbook is on every recipe, it tells you how many plants are in this dish.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool. It adds it up for you. So I want to say there's between 10 to 15 different plants in the dish. So that's dinner for me.
Awesome. Patrick, do you have an idea? I mean, it's okay if you don't, but do you have an idea what your dinner might be?
I know we're doing leftovers tonight. My girlfriend.
Yes.
We made we barbecued a bunch of chicken yesterday with, just olive oil and a bunch of different spices to make it nice and easy. And then I think we have she makes a homemade pesto that she loves. And we did that with a protein based, like chickpea based noodle. I think it was Bonza. We have that and then a little salad.
Nice. All right.
Else. So.
Yeah, it sounds delish. All right. And before I think about dinner, I'm going to eat my lunch. which is going to be which is my base salad, and that has all the colors in it. It's got green arugula and spinach, and it's got purple cabbage. I've got red bell peppers in there. I've got yellow bell peppers. I've got orange carrots in there. Grated. I grate them because I like them grated.
That was grating.
That's grating the carrot. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm grating my carrot. Yeah, because you know what? I won't eat them cooked, but I'll eat them grated. So I'm going to do what works for me.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, and then sunflower seeds and maybe a little, and then I got lemon in there and apple cider vinegar and some olive oil. So yeah. Okay, just talking about it, my mouth is watering. It is time for lunch, people.
All right, you go get it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. It's been a great conversation. Thank Patrick.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We'll talk to you all next time. In the meantime, we're going to challenge you 30 plants in your week.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.